Welcome. I'm Meredith, and this is the Oasis Spiritual Empowerment Tarot, all about tarot, oracle, and empowering you. And today I have some happy mail. Now, I'd say this is the second time that I'm filming this, so I actually already opened it, but only just. So I recorded this, and then I watched it back and realized I got a little too caught up in the images, and I ended up kind of cutting off a lot of the cards. So we're going to try this again. So, it's still basically, first-ish time going through the deck. So anyway, this is the Heavenly Bloom Tarot deck by Noah Aikida. That's probably terribly wrong, and I apologize. This is a US Games deck. Fabulous box. And this is a deck that I kind of got a couple glimpses of and was really taken by it. Only saw a couple cards and decided I would order it. It's mass market, it wasn't expensive, and I was kind of charmed by it. So, let me show you the guidebook really quickly, because it's got like an extra unique spin to it. So this deck is almost like a storybook, and I guess a lot of decks are, but this one really strongly speaks to that. And in fact, when I first went through it, I felt for sure there was like a big book that I was missing, but there's not, but it seems like there should be. So, talks about how the author got introduced to tarot, and then it goes right into basically, there are 5 tribes. Now, 4 of them are used to represent the different suits, right? So we have a winged tribe called the Sanclus for swords. The wands have desert warriors called the Adunians. Then for the cups, we have the urine. And of course, as you might expect, they're pretty water-based. They spend half their time submerged and half the time out of the water or above the water. And then we have the laurels. Well, the laurels is they renamed pentacles to laurels. The tribe are the Elune. And then the 5th tribe or tribe are humans, right? And we kind of descend from the Elune. So the Elune are basically like druid type people, and humans are basically almost the same, but we've lost that connection with nature. It's really interesting, and they're not long or huge descriptions, but it actually gives quite a bit in that little amount of space. Then it goes into actually, is it here or is it okay? Then it goes into talking about the majors, and then it gives you there's no pictures, but you don't really need them. Gives you the element, the astrology, the character, talks a bit about it, gives you a reverse meaning. Then went too far. Then when we get into the minor arcana, I like that it gives you the meanings for the numbers just by themselves, which is really nice. But then it also gives you a snippet about each suit, and then it does go into the specific cards, and it gives you just a couple sentences that pull you into that story. Then it gives you upright and reverse meanings. And that's kind of it. I I have to say though, it really leaves me wanting to read this story. Um, but alas, there is not a book as of yet. But so these are the backs. Very pretty. I love this gilding. The only thing I will say, it's a beautiful dusty rose. I don't know if the color is, oh, you know what? Shoot, hang on. Let's do this. I'm sorry. It's just so hot. Yeah, so that's maybe a bit better. The only thing I will say about the gilding, it's beautiful. I love it, but I kind of want to trim these, and I don't want to lose the gilding. So there's that. But yeah, so let's just go through, and then after we flip through, I will pick one, maybe two cards, because they're really short, to give you an idea of the guidebook, because I really like it. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't like guidebooks overall. And then I'll lay them out, kind of see how they feel. But look how beautiful that is. And I love that it's a female. And I love that between the wind and the streaming light, I just feel that kind of building of energy and potential. And I love it. Even the clouds, I just feel like there's movement and energy there. Love the Magician. And a lot of these are pretty kind of standard RWS type images. So very, very easy to read. Love this High Priestess. And the Empress. She's just beautiful. Love the Hierophant too. I love that he's kind of supported in the clouds, you know. It's definitely a very, at least to me, very anime kind of feel, which I love. You know, in the art style. So I love the strength. And normally I like to see a lion in the strength card because I am a Leo. I like lions. But I love this. I absolutely love it. I think it's fabulous. Love the Hermit. I love that he's right there on that edge. You know, it's almost like he's looking into the abyss. It's fabulous. And now here, instead of divine animals, we have what I think are those in the book. It talks about the creator, divine creators for each tribe, and I feel like that's what is represented here. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's what it is. Either way, they're representative of each. For sure. I like Justice. I like that the sword's not in like that ready position. You know what I mean? I mean, he could certainly get it ready really quickly, but it's not like the first impulse is to take a swing. You know what I mean? I like that. Love this. There's something really, and it's you know, it's certainly not what you could call wildly different from an RWS, but I don't know, there's something very powerful in the way this is depicted to me. I really like it. Love this death card. This reminds me of Black Butler, which I also love. But yeah, oh, I think this is fabulous. Beautiful temperance. This is a really interesting devil. And I love this tower too. I love that, you know, the tower is within, right? Because of course it is. But, or at least most of the time. Maybe not all the time. But I think it's fabulous. And I don't think I've ever seen it depicted quite like this. So I really, really like that. The star. I love that the star is basically in this cave, you know, in this darkness, instead of like, you know, the traditional kind of like in the night sky, which is wonderful too, but I really like this. It's a really interesting moon. So for the aces, we have, actually, let's check before I say what I think. So, well, what I think it is like with the wheel, I think that it's meant to be representation of that creation deity, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Yeah. So, okay. So, Ace of Swords, since I have it open, might as well say. The beginning. This card depicts Maleficent, the creator and eldest heir spirit. Below looms the vibrant sky fortress of Sandcliffs. So while we're here, I might as well say the upright, we have breakthrough, clarity of mind, a good time for decision making and finding truth. Reverse is confusion and chaos. Hold off on decisions and seek advice. I love this Two of Swords. I love the twist in her fabric, right? Like she's, you know, moving between choices, you know, kind of stuck, twisted up, but at the same time, almost like kind of coiled up and ready to move in some direction, right? Really nice Three of Swords, and we still have the Three Swords and basically going toward the heart, but of course this is so much more. I really, really like that. I like this. And you know what I like about this? If you look at the way she's bound, it looks like, you know, she could just kind of twist her hands in, and it looks like she could fairly easily get out of that if she chooses to. Love this night. Really, really feel the energy. And the Queen. And I love that the King is a woman. And now, so again, with the ace, we have that creator deity or spirit. Now this card, to me personally, it kind of looks more of like a Two of Cups type card. And I did actually check the guidebook on this one because I was like, what's going on? When I recorded this the first time. It is meant to be a sort of competition or animosity or something, but I kind of feel like they're about to kiss. But that's just me. And that could change. And I mean, there is that kind of posture, but I don't know. It could be a me thing. And it's interesting because I think a lot of these figures can be very androgynous. Which is kind of nice. And you notice the symbols in the background. So they're there if you want to see them, like the Eight of Wands. We do still have those 8 wands flying through the air, but they're in the background. And I just really like the way that's done. I really, really do. I think it was very smart, very clever way to hold on to, but provide more. So I appreciate that. I love him. The Page of Wands. He just feels like a Page of Wands. So it's just charming. And the Knight. And again, definitely get that Knight of Wands energy. And again, we have a female king, which I like. And this Ace of Cups is absolutely beautiful. I love her. And I love the Five of Cups. I love the way these are just, instead of just spilled over, they're inverted, almost like that. It reminds me of that. If you've ever seen the old Tales from the Dark Side, is that a tale? I think it was. Oh, maybe it wasn't. Oh, it was one of those shows where it showed like kind of like a mirror world. That's what it reminds me of. Maybe it wasn't Tales. I think I don't know. But whatever it was, it just kind of feels like an alternate reality almost, which I really like. Love the use of colors too, by the way. Now this one's interesting because this is another one I checked the guidebook, because to me, and I still feel that way looking at it again, even after reading the guidebook, my first impression of this card is he's manifesting all this stuff, all these possibilities. And then the guidebook basically said he's kind of drowning in imagination. And well, here, before I completely misquote, let me show you. Well, I'll tell you. So this is see, all these characters have names. So this is Lord Goy, drowns in fantasies instead of facing reality. That's not my impression from the art. No, I mean, obviously this is absolutely subjective. I'm not sure how I would read this, because and that could just be where I am right now, and you know, my perspectives, but it doesn't feel like he's drowning. It feels like he's creating. But that's me. But it's interesting. Beautiful page. Love him. So now, again, laurels or pentacles. It's beautiful. I mean, that's beautiful. Love her. And her. So, I mean, I think this is such an interesting deck. And it's so pretty. And I really love the way the backgrounds were done. And you can maybe see, just to kind of show you the majors kind of fanned out. So they're not, I mean, they're not exactly the same. So when we get into the quartz, they change, right? But you know what they change as? They change of that, according to the element for that quart, which is really nice. But if we just look at, oh, wait, who am I? Oh. Or at least somewhat they do. Some of them do. Some more than others, maybe. I don't know. But definitely the laurels do. Unless that was coincidence. It might have been. Well, either way. Either way, when you look at the minors without the quartz, you have that very distinctive background, right? So we have swords, and then wands, lighten way up, and then cups. We have that lovely blue, and then laurels. We have that green. So I like that. But it's really fairly subtle. Oops, sorry. So these shuffle, really well. I think these are a bit longer than standard tarot, so they are very slippery, I will say. They move beautifully. They're very slippery. So I think this is more of a standard tarot size. So I think these cards tend to be a bit longer. Basically the same width. These might be a teensy bit more narrow than this, but this could be a little wider than standard. But I do think these are definitely taller. So I can, I can overhand, but it's a bit of a stretch. So if you have smaller hands, you would definitely want to go like this, but you certainly can. Let's pull one card. I know we already read one, but let's read one more just to say, ooh, the Magician. Okay. Just to give you even more of an idea about the guidebook. Okay. So for the majors, we do get, we have element air, astrology Mercury. The character is Estel. So it says, if the Fool is a source of boundless potential, the Magician channels that promise into concrete ideas. This powerful card symbolizes the manifestation of desires. The Magician is the conduit between heaven and earth, as above, so below. The Magician promises that dreams can be manifested into reality. An infinity sign floats above their head, representing the infinite power of creative will, while the blooming flowers represent the flourishing of creation that follows. Where the Magician appears in a reading, it is an overwhelmingly positive sign and a call to action. You have the power to manifest your reality, and the time is now. And it gives you a reversed. When reversed, the Magician channels the outward into the mind. Perhaps the material world is clouding your mind from true meaning. It is a warning not to let opportunities slip by due to self-doubt or another magician attempting to trick you. So, let me show you just kind of how these might look in a reading. I'm really liking this deck. I almost wish it wasn't gilded, only because I kind of want to trim it, but I really like the gilding. So it's no fault of the gilding. I'm not super keen on the borders, but they're okay. I will say that the gilding is a bit, you definitely feel it when you work with the cards. So it's not my favorite, but I'm okay with it. For whatever that's worth. But if that tends to, you can definitely feel that as you're laying the cards down. It kind of rubs. It doesn't scratch, but I don't know. I don't like it, but it's okay. So I may end up trimming these at some point, but I really do like the gilding. But I really like this. I like this world that they've created. I really do. And I really want to read a book about it, I would love the creator to write a book. So, and perhaps they will. So it does mention in the guidebook that, if you're interested in this world, and there should be things coming up, new things. There may be a new deck. So I'll definitely have to make sure I'm following them. If you hear that ruckus, that's my animals playing. I don't know what they're doing. Cats are going crazy. The dog's chasing them. But yeah, I really like this deck. So it's got a really nice energy. I think the artwork is beautiful, and I think the world is fabulous. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to using it. So let me know what you think. Is this a deck that interests you? Do you have it? I'm kind of surprised. I haven't really heard a lot about it. Like I said, I saw glimpses of it one or two places. And I say glimpses because I stopped watching because I was like, oh, I gotta get this deck. But I've only seen, I think, one or two people mention it, basically. So I'm not sure why, because I think it's lovely. But let me know what you think. And you know, it does move beautifully. So I mean, it's a great, if you like to really just kind of spread your cards out, this is a great deck for that for sure. But yeah, let me know what you think. And remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you get alerted when I post new videos. And until next time, just be wonderful to yourself. Be really wonderful, because you deserve the best. Only the best. All the best. And that is my wish for you.